Please like and subscribe. Let's grow NAIA basketball. Thank you. Cascade Hoops Talk, bringing the world NAIA basketball one podcast at a time. Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. Well, it's Monday, huge weekend of basketball. We're going to talk about all that. I hope you had a great weekend, and the conferences are really starting to heat up. It's really fun to keep an eye on those, who's going to survive, who's going to make it. At this point in the season, the top 25, for the most part, is irrelevant. It'll come back into play when they're seeding for the tournament, but at this point, really, we're going to focus on the conferences. So let's start in the Crossroads League. Grace College, they won this weekend on Saturday. You already know that. They're 18-0. Jake Wadding, 16.6 rebounds. Jacob Gibbs, 18 points, 3 rebounds. They're really on a roll. They went up to Ohio and they beat Mount Vernon Nazarene 98-79. Not an easy place to win. And then on Wednesday, they're going to play Bethel. This is a team that is big. Bethel is big. They've got James Anderson, Nathan Ertz inside, Phillips, and then they got guards that can shoot the ball. They got obviously Drew Lutz, one of the top guards in the country, and Hilliard, and then young man from Norwood. I can't remember his first name, a freshman. But they've got guys who can really shoot the ball. They got some big guys inside, and I'm looking forward to that game on Wednesday. Indiana Wesleyan, 82-78. They defeated Marion at home there in Lucky Arena. Cademan Bontrager, 26 points, 9 rebounds. I got to go back and check this, but when I was going through stats today, I swear I saw he was shooting 80%. I'm going to have to go back and check that, but he's shooting the ball very well. Javen Buchanan, 16 points, 7 rebounds. They go to 17-2, and they're going to face Huntington at Huntington on Saturday. Well, number 23, Bethel, we just talked about them. They took on Taylor at home up there in Mishawaka. They beat them 75-66. Nathan Ertz, 21 points, 7 rebounds. Drew Lutz, 16 points, 2 rebounds. They're 15-3, and they're going to play Grace on Saturday up in Mishawaka. Let's look at the Crossroads League standings and other games. Also in the Crossroads, Huntington defeated Goshen. St. Francis gets the win, 87-62 over Spring Arbor. And the rest we talked about. Also, let's go to the standings. Grace and Indiana Wesleyan are starting to move away. It's going to be really critical for Bethel and Huntington to win these games over the next week and a half to stay in that race. Let's go to the Sooner Conference. Well, that's where Langston is. Langston is 17-0. They defeated Wayland Baptist 86-63. Anthony Roy, 21 points, 3 rebounds. And then Toro Dean, 15 points, 8 assists. Like I say, they're 17-0. They're going to play. They have to go to Oklahoma City on Thursday. This is a team I was starting to wonder if they were as good as advertised. But they seem to be building power, lack of another word, throughout the season, and we're going to get Coach Wright on this week to talk about the Langston Lions. They're just dominating at this point, the Sooner. Sagu this weekend, they defeated Southwestern Christian 94-73. Noah Jonker, 17.6 rebounds. Cortland Blake, he had 28 points, 11 rebounds for the double-double. So Sagu goes to 12-5. They're going to play Science and Arts on Thursday. That's going to be a big game, and I'll show you. Well, let's go through the rest of the games of the Saturday. Texas Wesleyan won. Science and Arts beat John Brown. Good win for Science and Arts. Mid-America Christian beat UNT Dallas. We mentioned Sagu. Central Christian beat Panhandle State. And let's go to the standings. Look at the standings. So Langston is 11-0, and they've turned this in. I'm officially calling this a race for second place. So Science and Arts, Mid-America Christian, Sagu, John Brown, Wayland Baptist, they're just locked. These 5 teams are within, well, Wayland Baptist has 4. but they're basically all tied for second. So every game is going to be critical for those 5 teams. Let's look at the Cascade Conference. College of Idaho, they won 2 this weekend. On Friday, they beat Northwest 108-70. Drew Wyman, 22 points, 2 rebounds. I call him a basketball player's basketball player. Jake O'Neal, what was he doing? Double-double. That should be that guy's middle name. They go to 14-2, and on Saturday they defeated Evergreen, and they were ruthless, 107-40. Dougie Peoples, I think new recruit at College of Idaho, really got his first big minutes this weekend. 20 points in this game. Samaji Morgan, 17 points, 8 assists. So they go to 16-2, and they're going to play Oregon Tech on Friday in Caldwell. That'll be a much anticipated game, at least by me, I can tell you that. So Oregon Tech this weekend on Friday, they beat Bushnell 112-98. Cam Osborne, 25 points, 2 rebounds. Keegan Shivers, he really filled up the stat line. 21 points, 11 rebounds for the double-double. Added in 5 assists. And then on Saturday, it was a wild game. They beat Corbin 94-84. Oregon Tech missed their first, I think, 15 shots. They went down 22-0 with 12 minutes to go in the first half. They ended up ahead 41-37 by the end of the first half. It was a big run there to end the first half. And then the second half was just a slugfest. Cam Osborne, 27 points in this one. Jameson Guerre, 19 points, 4 assists, top assist leader in the country. He had 16 assists over the weekend. They're 14-3, and they're going to Caldwell on Friday. So let's look at the standings in the Cascade. Well, let's look at the rest of the games. Sorry about that. 3 nights because of some weather travel. Southern Oregon beat Corbin. They won 2 games this weekend. Eastern beat Evergreen. Eastern won both games. They beat Northwest as well. Southern beat Bushnell. And we talked about College of Idaho. LC State, they beat Warner Pacific in Portland. Be a good win for them. And then on Sunday, because of some travel problems, they played Multnomah, and they just destroyed them. They just beat the heck out of Multnomah. And Walla Walla defeated Warner Pacific. So the standings, College of Idaho, LC State, 1 loss. Oregon Tech, Southern Oregon, 2 losses. And then they're kind of separated from the rest of the pack. So that Oregon Tech and Southern Oregon will both be over to play College of Idaho this weekend, and they'll also play Eastern Oregon. So it could be an interesting weekend in the Cascade. We'll see how it shakes out. In the Kansas, Oklahoma Wesleyan, they go to 17-1. They beat Kansas Wesleyan. This was a big, big win for Oklahoma Wesleyan. Beat them 82-66. Jaden Litsky, 23 points, and listen, 16 rebounds. Now that's a double-double. Caleb Stokes, 15 points, 10 rebounds. As I say, they go to 17-1. They're going to play McPherson on Wednesday. Southwestern, they were in action as well. They beat Evangel on Saturday, 86-78. Kevin Clark, 42 points. That dude can score the ball. I tell you, Andrew O'Brien, 13 points, 4 rebounds. Southwestern, they're at 15-2. They're going to play Tabor on Wednesday. In the rest of the ACC over the weekend, Southwestern, well, we talked about that. Avila and York were winners. St. Mary beat Tabor. McPherson beat Sterling. Bethel beat Friends. And let's look at the standings. So Oklahoma, that was a big win for Oklahoma Wesleyan. Now they have 1 full game on Kansas Wesleyan, and Southwestern is back another half game, and then McPherson. So it's really coming down to these 4 teams in the KCAC. What else do we have? We had Mid-South this weekend. Freed Hardman, they beat Campbellsville 84-69. Geraldo Lane, 15 points, 4 rebounds. J.J. Wheat, 21 points, 6 rebounds. So they go to 16-2, and they're going to play Georgetown Thursday. Speaking of Georgetown, they took on Cumberland. They beat them 90-63. Jabrion Spikes, 22 points, 3 rebounds. Cam Brooks Harris, 15 points, 3 rebounds. So Georgetown is 14-4, and they're going to play Freed Hardman on Thursday. They kind of play odd days in the Mid-South. They don't all play on the same day. The rest of the Mid-South on Saturday, the only other game we didn't talk about, Bethel defeated Lindsey Wilson. So Freed Hardman and Cumberland's both have zeros on the loss for the conference. Everybody else has 2 or 3. So everybody's playing catch-up, but there's still a lot of games to play in the Mid-South. The Frontier Conference, the big story there, Montana Tech went to Providence, and the Argos beat them. Davy and Harris Williams, 17 points, 6 rebounds. Kenny Curtis, 13.6 rebounds. And Providence wins 70-59. That makes Montana Tech 14-4, and they're going to play Montana State Northern on Thursday. Rest of the Frontier, not a lot of teams in the Frontier. Rocky Mountain falls again in overtime to Montana Western. Boy, that hurts. Carroll beat Montana State Northern on Saturday. Now check this out. Here's a team nobody's talked about all year, Carroll. They're 4-1. Right now they're leading the Frontier. Montana Tech's a half game back, and Providence is a full game back. Carroll comes alive at the right time. Lords, they win again. They go to 15-1. They beat Michigan Dearborn 98-79. Jackie Harris, 20 points, 11 rebounds, double-double. Sean Monroe, 19 points, 4 rebounds. They're going to play Siena Heights on Wednesday. In the rest of the WAC, Rochester beat Concordia. Cornerstone was a winner. Madonna beat Indiana Tech. That game is that's a killer for Indiana Tech in that conference race. Siena Heights lost in 2 overtimes, and Lawrence Tech, they won again. So let's look at the standings and see why I say that. Sorry, I lost the magnification. I'm sorry. So Lords is 11-1. Madonna's 11-1. Indiana Tech now is 2 full games back. Rochester's another game back from them. But that was just a gut shot. We'll just have to see what happens over the next couple weeks. Southern States Conference, Mobile was in action. They beat Point 70-48. Real squeaker there. Damari Jones, 15.7 rebounds. Ezra McKenna, 18 points, 10 rebounds, double-double. This guy puts up big numbers every night. They go to 15-4. They're going to play Thomas on Wednesday. Take a look at the rest of the Southern States. Bruton Parker beat Life. Really tough loss for Life. Dalton State were victors. Blue Mountain and Stillman were canceled. Loyola won, as did Middle Georgia. So taking a look at the standings, Tennessee Southern, who plays, I think tonight against Stillman. They're 10-0. They're 3 games up on, 2.5 games up on Stillman. They're up on Mobile. They kind of got a little bit of a stranglehold on the conference unless the people start knocking them off. But it's pretty tight. For this right here is turning into a race for second place as well here in the Southern States. Red River Conference, LSU Shreveport, they beat North American 95-72. Jalen King, 15.7 rebounds. Tyler Washington, 21 points, 8 rebounds. They go to 13-3, and they are going to play LSU Alexandria at Alexandria on Thursday. Why is that a big deal? Let's go straight to the standings. Shreveport and Alexandria are tied in the conference for the lead, and these another 4-team race. These teams are all within a half a game. And then Xavier was a victor. We were talking about Louisiana Christian the other day. Say, they don't have a great record, but they give everybody fits. Well, they knocked off Our Lady of the Lake on Saturday. Jarvis Christian beat Southwest. As we said, LSU Alexandria, they won. Texas College beat Paul Quinn. The Chicagoland Roosevelt wins again. Boy, this was a squeaker. Holy Cross had a shot with, I think, 3 seconds to go. Didn't go and preserved the victory for Roosevelt. They go to 16-2. Forte Prater, 11 points, 3 rebounds. Maurice Commander, what is he? Yes, he's the guy with the best name in the NAIA. They go to 16-2, and they're going to play Governor State on Wednesday. Oh, one other stat here. Cody Mitchell had 15 rebounds for the Lakers. 15 rebounds. That's a lot of rebounds. Olivet Nazarene, they go down to St. Xavier, 76-75. Cedric Johnson, he scored 26 points, 7 rebounds. James Stevenson, 22 points, 5 rebounds. Olivet Nazarene, the Tigers go to 13-4, and they're going to face Governor State tonight. And they need to win that game. I'll show you why. Governor State was a victor. St. Ambrose. We talked about Indiana Northwest beat South Bend and Judson won. So let's look at the standings. Olivet Nazarene now, that's 2.5 full games that they're down. And then it's another team. These 4 teams are all essentially tied for second. So that loss really put a hurt on Olivet Nazarene and chasing that Chicagoland crown. They're really going to have some good luck at this point. In the GPAC, Northwestern was at Doane, 93-89 they won. Just like so many other teams with Doane, you can't look at their record. They're really tough. But Northwestern got by them. Craig Sturck, he's been playing really well for Northwestern. 25 points, 5 rebounds. And, of course, Alec Van Kalsbeek, 23 points, 11 rebounds for the double-double. They're 15-4. And they're going to play Dakota Wesleyan on Wednesday at Dakota Wesleyan. That is always when you have to go in the Corn Palace, that is a crapshoot. Morningside, they went to Midland. They came out victors 100-77. Big Eli Doble, 16 points and 7 assists. Dishing the ball, the big guy. Joey Scoff, 22 points, 7 assists. They go to 14-4, and they're going to play Jamestown at home there. They're going to host Jamestown on Wednesday. Take a look at the quick look at the GPAC. Dakota Wesleyan beat Mount Marty. Northwestern won. Concordia beat Briarcliff. That's a good win for Concordia. And Hastings, they just keep plugging along. They beat Dort. That's a good win. So Hastings is 9-1. Half game back is Morningside, then Northwestern. Really bunched up here at the top. Hastings, everybody's just waiting for Hastings to blink, and it just hasn't happened. Let's go over to the GSAC. Arizona Christian fell again. You probably heard that. They lost to OUAZ there in Surprise, Arizona. Elijah Simmons, 16 points, 4 rebounds. Jacob Henry, he had 14 points, 10 assists. That's a point guard. They go to 14-5, and they will play Vanguard at Vanguard on Thursday. Quick look at the rest of the GPAC. Menlo beat Jessup. That's a tough loss for Jessup. Good win for Menlo. The Masters defeated Hope International, and then Vanguard beat Light Pacific. Light Pacific's just struggling this year, but they'll be back. So Arizona, look at this. Arizona Christian, Hope, OUAZ, the Masters, look at that. They're all 3-2. Menlo's 2-3. That's going to have to shake out. Still a lot of games to play. Sun Conference, Florida Memorial, they fell to Weber International 73-56. Tyrone Nesby the fourth, 23 points, 4 rebounds. Jordan Golden, 10 points, 13 rebounds. So they go to 15-3, and they're going to play Southeastern on, Wednesday. Let's go to the standings. Look at this 2 overtime, big win for Southeastern in 2 overtimes. Kaiser beat Warner. Warner's had some bad luck, man. Good win for Kaiser, though. We talked about Weber. Ave Maria beat St. Thomas. So Ave Maria right now is up atop the Sun Conference. Florida Memorial and Kaiser are both 1 game back. In the Cal-Pac, Antelope Valley played Sagu American Indian. It was a non-conference game. They lost 75-74. They go to 16-3. And in the Cal-Pac, the rest of the Cal-Pac, Cal Maritime won. UC Merced beat St. Catherine. Huge win for Merced. Embry-Riddle won. Westcliff beat Simpson. And then Benedictine Mesa, boy, they beat Pacific Union. So Antelope Valley is 11-0. St. Catherine, look out why this is such a big win for Merced. They put themselves right there. Again, this is another conference. Unless something changes, it looks like a race for second place. But Merced put themselves right there in position. And then Westcliff and Benedictine Mesa are both 6-4. In the River States, Point Park, they win again. They go to 18-1. They beat IU East 86-83. Jags Johar, 17 points, 11 rebound, double-double. Jalen Stamps, he just loaded it up. 32 points, 6 rebounds. They're 18-1, as I said, and they are going to play St. Mary's of the Woods on Thursday, and that's going to be a big game. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. So over the weekend, St. Mary's of the Woods beat Alice Lloyd. Point Park won. Rio Grande beat Oklahoma City. West Virginia Tech beat Kokomo. Good win for West Virginia Tech. Midway won, as did Ohio Christian. So St. Mary's of the Woods and Point Park are, along with Shawnee State, are right there at the top. So Point Park and St. Mary's of the Woods will play this week. And we're starting to get this separation right here. I know it's into 2 divisions, but it's just a lot easier, honestly, to look at the entire conference as it goes. American Midwest, Columbia beat William Woods. Williams Baptist won, as did Central Baptist over Crowley's Ridge. So Central Baptist, Columbia, Missouri Baptist are all fighting for that number 1 position there in the that's in the American Midwest. North Star this weekend, Dakota State beat Waldorf. Bellevue won over Viterbo, and Dickinson State knocked off Mayville. So that's going to show up in the standings. Of course, not very many games played yet, but right now Dickinson State kind of has the hammer. Dakota State, Dickinson State, and then Mayville suffered that 1 loss the other day. Still a lot to play. I think, if I remember right, that conference only gets 1 automatic bid, so every game is big. In the AAC, Tennessee Wesleyan wins. Columbia International 1-point big win over Bryan. Johnson beat Pikeville. This is the big news out of the AAC. Truett McConnell, Montreat won, as did Union. So Pikeville now is 13-3. Union's 12-3. Columbia International 11-4. Four-team race in the AAC, and Pikeville has been just holding off everybody. And can they continue to do that? They are only a half game up right now. Over in the Heart, Benedictine won. William Penn won. Graceland, they won, as did Mid-American Nazarene, Baker, and Peru State. So nobody here at the top, everybody won. So they all hold serve, if you will, and they're all within a half a game. So this is the race for the Heart right now. Who's going to blink first? Okay, I know that's a lot of games. There was a ton of games over the weekend, and I always try to catch you up on the conferences. Really try to learn the conferences, who's in what conference. It really makes following NAIA basketball a lot more fun. I try to follow through it every day with you, and you'll understand where these teams are. You can, just learn about which conferences are tougher and why, and who's in them and who they lose to. But really watch these conference races, because for the most part, that's going to determine who's going to get into the tournament at the end of the year. So this week, we're going to have Brant Minor. He's Max Hoops. Justin Parnell, head men's basketball coach, Oregon Tech, as well as Coach Chris Wright, head men's basketball coach, Langston Lions. So tune in. It's going to be a big week, and I hope you enjoy your day. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast. Please like and subscribe. Get out to your local NAIA school, because NAIA basketball is the best entertainment value in America.